Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, from Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, that's right, a new venue, and you know why. Because it's all based on why so many can't get ahead financially. We have solutions here, ladies and gentlemen. And also, don't forget to check the chat room. Don't forget to let us know if you saw the trailer, if you've got the notification from YouTube, if you received that, let me know. Make sure you share the videos. We have a jam-packed SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. So stay tuned. The chat room is open. Everybody can participate. And welcome. Stop struggling now. Gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. Hello there, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for being here this evening on a Monday night. Please smash that like button as I've requested. That would be greatly appreciated. And please share the videos because YouTube doesn't like showing our videos. Can you believe it? While we're out here trying to help people, while we're out here slaying dragons, while we're out here trying to get people to buy assets instead of courses. It's that simple. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see who's in the house tonight. But first things first, please note the chat room because tonight is the last time that you will be able to get for $199 the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. That's starting May 13th, 14th, and 15th. There's 3 days of jam-packed adventure. What do we mean by adventure? Well, solutions are here. Offshore business, offshore real estate, offshore property, offshore ideas, offshore banking, offshore Dominican Republic. A lot of opportunity when you're the #1 tourist area in all of Latin America. You gotta love that. And that also means you have opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the first thing. Go to ssnlifestyle.com because after tonight at midnight, the ticket prices go up to $249. We're going to see lawyers. We're going to let you ask questions, however long it takes. There's no time is up. It's kind of like you have free reign of thousands of dollars worth of business, financial information from top-notch lawyers the first day. Because after you know what you can do legally, now you know how you can proceed legally. If you want to start an LLC known as an SRL, guess what? You can do it, ladies and gentlemen. Explain to you very simple. If you want to buy real estate, you want to become a developer, you want to start your own business, all of that is on tap. You want residency? You can ask that. You want an investment type of residency or visa? You can ask about that. All information is on the table that would take you hours to get. And it would cost you a hell of a lot more than just $199 to boot. That's just for starters. That's on Monday. How about having your own bank account where you don't actually have to sit at the bank for hours or come back the next day? I was just at the bank today. I just wanted to see a person that could help me with my account that opened my account. I had to wait for an hour. Now, the people that wanted to go up to the teller, this is at Scotiabank. The people that wanted to go see the teller, they were waiting beyond an hour just to get up to the teller. Now, how do we get in there to open up a bank account? Well, that's why you have the preeminent law firms working for you, so the assistant can get all the paperwork together. So all they do is call you up and say, hey, you have an appointment at 3 p.m. Come on down. Open up your bank account. You won't be there for 3, 4, 5 hours. These are the type of things that you're going to be able to do when you are here in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, May 13th, 14th, and 15th. Stop playing with yourself, because once again, why so many can't get ahead financially? It's not just in your head. It's actually happening. When I started the channel, I told people 5 years ago, and I said, guys, things are going to cost you damn near double. It's already happened. 80% from 2021, 2022. Never mind 2018. It's doubled, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? All central banks are printing more money, taxing their taxpayers more. You will not be able to overcome the inevitable. Shakedown is happening, and it's been happening, making you pay for the rich and wealthy. Now you need to become rich and wealthy as well. You can't beat them. You damn well better join them, or you're going to be left behind. So let's get into it tonight. Laverne Penix, Mr. Cool in these YouTube streets. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, another investor. That's him. He's in the house with Mrs. Cool also. And he says, hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. He received the notification and saw the trailer. This is very, very good. That's one person tonight. And once again, thank you so much for being here, Mr. Cool in the house. Also, Victor Marrero, another soon-to-be investor retiree, making all the right moves. Real estate, stocks, and his own personal new favorite that he learned from. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. After years of not doing it, he took time out to learn how to do options trading. How impressive is that? He's going to retire from another job. He's retired from his first job. And he has dividends. That's what we've been talking about, for the last 5 years. He's here in the house. So I want to thank you so much for being in the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to your name, which I greatly appreciate, Victor Marrero. And he brings his tagline. It's simple. Hello, all. Let's do this. That's what we do out here, ladies and gentlemen. You have to make things go according to you, not according to me, not according to Victor Marrero, not according to Mr. and Mrs. Cool. You go by what you want to do. That is what we do here to give you the tools necessary. Another investor extraordinaire is here. Mr. De La Cruz is in the house, a real estate investor, and welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. Good evening, SSN Nation. Is his tagline. I just learned that the IRS will tax your rental income, even if it is in the DR. Yes, that is not a surprise, because how it works is simple. When you are born an American citizen, or it doesn't even matter, a Swedish citizen, a French citizen, doesn't matter. If you make any income, this is why you have the Social Security numbers, or a tracking number, as I say. No matter where you make income, you have to pay taxes. Now, there is one other thing, since he mentioned that, and we'll get into it here shortly. Should I get an LLC just to manage the passive income? No. But keep the property under my name? No. Do not do that. Like I said, we've talked to the lawyers about this several times. This is something you don't want to do. And I'm going to tell you why. When you do your LLC, that puts it under a business, which now means you're going to be taxed 27%. In the United States, it makes perfectly good sense in U.S. territory to have an LLC because of our tax laws, and you get to write things off. But in the Dominican Republic, unfortunately, if you have a business, then you automatically are going to be paying 27% on your proceeds. You don't get to write it off like in America. It's not that simple. So all I'm saying is, and you may forego other things as well that you get as a person. So when a lot of people talk about comfort tour, that's real nice. But the problem is if you change it into a business, there's ramifications. So you don't want to set it up like that. There's no way around it. I hate to tell you this. There's no way around it. But speaking of accountants, you need to discuss with an accountant in the Dominican Republic about what you can do. Because in every country, he who has the money makes the rules. There are always loopholes. So there is loopholes for your taxes, but unfortunately, as a United States citizen, if you make $100,000, you're supposed to report that. But I have good news. I have bad news. You don't get taxed twice. So you take your pick. If you pay the tax in the Dominican Republic, then you get to write off the tax for the United States and vice versa. You don't have double taxation situations. So that's good news. So once again, this is stuff that we know because we have Glenny Hachicuevas, Johan Confidante as our lawyers, and they're the ones that will be there May 13th. So you can actually ask this question yourself. But nonetheless, that is the answer. You're not going to be double taxed. And you are correct, though, that as a citizen of almost any country, if you make money outside, I'm going to give you guys a story since he brought this up. I've mentioned this story before when I used to play poker, and a friend of mine won like $250,000 at the Ruber Poker Classic. Okay, it was on TV and it was streamed live. After he won the $250,000, he ended up like third place, I think it was. He's from Sweden. He got a call from Swedish government saying, hey, you know you owe us 50%. He had to give up $125,000. Even though he was in Aruba winning money, he's a citizen of Sweden. Now talk about wild. The United States usually doesn't do that. But I was just like, are you kidding me right now? I was all happy for him winning 250. And you know, there's ways you can do a tax reduction. He goes, not where I'm from. I had to give up 50%. So my 250 that everybody's excited about, I only get 150. Then he starts going, well, you know, it cost me, the plane cost this, the buy-in cost that. Now, you know, I had to eat, had to fly over somewhere else, 20, 30,000 more gone. He's like, yeah, it was only like 100,000 after the end of the day. I was like, this is crazy. But this is how it works, ladies and gentlemen. So don't worry about the tax situation too much, but do not do the LLC. Now, there is something else that I can talk about that a lot of people are unaware of. So there's only a few projects. Mr. De La Cruz owns at the beach. That's one. Larimar is another. That's the only ones I can speak on for sure. If you have a business, or in the case of the beach, they will allow you to sell it internally. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to last year and years before. Larimar will let you do that, but guess what? You need an LLC. So you have an advantage. So if you have an LLC, you buy a condo at Larimar. They will let you resell it in-house because under LLC, you can sell shares. All right? This is cool stuff. This is what the wealthy people do. So you say you're selling shares as part of the unit. That's how you're transferring it. All right? That's one way. The second way you do it is what Mr. De La Cruz was talking about. You buy it. Now, like I said, it's not recommended to put your whatever you buy in an LLC. But in the case of you're going to flip, then that will work because you have it in an LLC and you sell the LLC. So nothing changes. The name of the LLC and ownership never change, so you don't have to pay a sales tax, so to speak. There's all kind of ways around it, but you got to have the right team in place to make you be able to maneuver. So imagine what these rich guys are doing on a lot of these projects. They're buying several units under a corporate name. Then they are selling the whole corporation at a higher price. And sure, you're still going to you can't get away from the taxation for your corporation. But now remember, your corporation is offshore if you're an American citizen or not a Dominican citizen at all. It's offshore. So you're going to pay the tax situation for in the country, but now you don't have to worry about it in America. Otherwise, Apple, Microsoft, all these other people would be in trouble. They have billions of dollars worth of sales outside of the United States and they keep it offshore. So they don't have to pay tax on it. So if you're an American citizen, there's all kind of ways that you can avoid paying taxes. And that's why you want to do an LLC in that case. So just give you an idea. There's something for everybody, but you don't play. You got to talk with the experts. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. Experts, May 13th, you will get it directly from the horse's mouth, and you'll probably have follow-up questions. There's always a way to do something. All right, Victor Morero, glad you made it to Punta Cana safely. What's the weather there now? It's like I would say it's like 85. Humidity level, it's up. I would say it's at least 40. I don't know how to rank it really. It's pretty heavy. And it was overcast. It was windy, relatively tropical breeze. I mean, it's nice. It's nice. I don't have anything, but you will get sunburn. It will be overcast and it seems like nothing's happening, but you can see people with red because they're, like I say, if you're coming in May, make sure you have some suntan applications. Don't think just because it's like 85 and windy and maybe even a little cloudy that you're not getting sun. It's coming. And dry fit gear. This is cotton because I'm in the house, but I'm wearing all dry fit. And by the way, when you get your tickets, I should tell everybody you will be getting one dry fit shirt. So I will need your sizes eventually because I recommend whatever lightweight clothing is what I recommend because of the humidity level. It did sprinkle a little bit today, but for all intents and purposes, it was just another nice day in the DR. All right. I went down to the beach. I stayed by the pool, which was rare because got here so early, couldn't check in. So just chilled by the pool, tropical breezes under the umbrella. Fine. I was tired too. But that's what we do. All good. Are you staying in Cordacito or Los Corrales? Los Corrales, La Bruja, #1 on my list. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You know I always talk about it. So today, since there's a refrigerator behind me, you guys hear us talk about it. Here, just to show you. Here's the bag. Here's the proofs. La Bruja, they have several different companies. There's La Bruja right there. They just opened Noah. Let me see if Noah's on here. Noah's right here. They just opened Noah in Cap Cana. I said naturally, because you get to charge more money. upscale luxury gets to charge more money. So they're already reasonable. I mean, just a tad, tad bit. It's hard to say really. But a tad bit, something that may cost $25 is going to cost you like 17 here, right? In America, it might cost $25 for the plate. It'll cost 17, 16 here, which is still cool. But that Noah is going to be in Cap Cana, and I'm pretty sure that 25 in USA probably is going to be 25 in Cap Cana at Noah. But nonetheless, that's where we go. That's where I go. Okay, here we go. I just want to upset the amount of taxation. Yeah, unfortunately, because of the Dominican Republic regarding tax, think about it. DR doesn't even play. They're just like, we're just going to charge you 18% more. And from a business standpoint, they start going, we'll just charge you 27% more in certain instances. There's really almost no way around it. And this is how this is how America should be actually. But nonetheless, you can Mr. De La Cruz, you can offset taxes, but there's only certain things you can do. Right? So it works along the same lines. If you collect $100,000, then you can write off what? Your HOA, your taxes if you have them, but your taxes are going to be 1% above 170. So therefore, you would have to buy something for, even if you bought something for $350,000, you're only going to owe 1% of 180,000. The difference between 170 and 350 is 180. So you're only going to owe 1%. What is that? 1,800? That's it. So that could be a tax write-off, but if you make 100,000, it starts getting crazy. How much did you pay your property management? Normally 25%. So there goes 25 G's you can write off, right? Housekeeping, same rules. You can probably write off damn near 50%. So your tax exposure will be less because you're running a business, right? Same rules are going to apply. And again, you don't have to worry about the double taxation from the United States because you get to write off. So if you pay taxes here in Dominican Republic, then you get to write that off as being paid in the United States to offset your costs. So you don't get double taxed, just so you understand. Hopefully I can explain that properly. All right. Mr. De La Cruz, yes, the USA will tax you over worldwide income. Although they'll tax your income there, they will also consider your maintenance fees. Exactly. And there's no double taxation, by the way. So you got to, okay, I'll put it an easier way. You're going to have to take your pick who you're going to pay tax to. You got to pay it to the DR or you're going to have to pay it to the United States. Either way, it's a write-off for either country. You don't pay twice. All right, just to make it clear. Hopefully I understand. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Oh, got it. Thank you. All right, there you go, man. So Victor Marrero's right when he mentioned what you can write off earlier. You can deduct HOA, condo fee, club fees, credit card charges, furniture expenses from your income. There is no double taxation due to the treaty between the USA and DR. Exactly right. He's got it exactly right. And he's right about all of that and then some, because he said, et cetera. And he's right, because you don't think about different things. That's why you talk to an accountant, because the accountant will be like, hey, how much furniture? Didn't you just buy $30,000 worth of furniture about a year ago? All of a sudden, they're going to start saying words like depreciation. You're like, what? Oh, yeah, we'll just take off. How do you want to do it? Accelerate it? Do you want to take off the full $30,000 now, or do you want to take off $5,000 a year, or what do you want to do? All kind of options happen when you're in business, and all this adds up. So you could get to 50% relatively easily without realizing it. especially when you start throwing in those housekeeping fees. Like right now, the housekeeping fee is $45. Now, this unit here is pretty, they have like a 4.83 or 4.85 rating. So they rented a lot. So that money, $45, and they probably, I mean, they do a lot of rentals. They have over 100 and something reviews. All right. So you start doing 100. Well, it's not in 1 year, 100, but all I'm saying is there's a significant amount, like 80 rentals in a year, and you start adding $45, it starts adding up. All right. So it's thousands of dollars that you're going to be able to write off that you don't think you can. And you'll end up paying tax, but on a lower portion. That's the beauty of being in business. All right. Can I also deduct a mortgage? I don't think so. Thank you, Victor. That you're going to have to ask someone else. I don't think you can. First of all, if you're a U.S. citizen, okay, I shouldn't even say it's a yes and no answer. An individual is different than business. So again, I've never crossed that Rubicon, but all I'm saying is just I personally, I'll just say what I think. All right. So me personally, from an individual standpoint, I'm not going to be able to deduct my mortgage. From a business standpoint, where it's designated that I'm borrowing to pay this, now all of a sudden you put yourself in a situation where I would contend with my accountant, I would be pushing to say, hey, isn't that a write-off? Because this is business, or a portion of it. Because in America, it used to be your interest you could write off. And remember, your interest, your first few years is what's the most. If you bought something for, let's say, $200,000 and you had a payment of, I don't know, let's just use $1,000 per month, it would be something crazy, like $800 of it was interest. So for your first year or two or three, you could be writing off like $9,000 to $10,000 per year. At the later end of that mortgage contract, you're paying more principal. So there's all kind of different things when you're in the world of assets that you'll be able to write off. So it's a yes and no. I would have to check with an accountant about it. But from my standpoint, if I'm doing business, we're going to be able to write it off one way or another, because that is an expense for our business, is the way I see it. So again, don't just use my word, because again, I'm not an accountant, but check with a qualified accountant. And once again, here's the problem that I have. I have an accountant here in the DR. All right. He's just doing minor work for me right now because I don't have any properties that I can rent out. So we don't get to talk much about all the things I'm discussing now. I've talked about this with our attorneys, but I've never talked about it with him because I've never had to file anything. So that's going to be a thing. The only problem that's funny as hell is he speaks Spanish. So when we do things, we just do a translation, and he has someone else that speaks English, and so it helps us do it, right? So he's been doing accounting for 20 years in the Dominican Republic, but he's, for a lack of a better word, Dominican. So he speaks mostly Spanish. He doesn't even understand English that much. So that's what's so funny about it. So he would be at our event, but then I'd have to have somebody translating for me anyhow. I don't speak Spanish, but I'll see how that works out, because I would love to have him come and discuss things and see if I can make it work somehow. But who knows? We'll see if we can make some weird thing happen, right? But it would be very helpful for people to understand their options. Because Mr. De La Cruz, I like where you're going with this, because you have units that are going to be heavy profit makers, in my opinion. One of the reasons I say this is because I'll just say people here, we've talked about this in the past. He actually has a penthouse unit at the beach. And the price when it first came out made it perfect for when 3, 4, 5 years or 6 years later, because I don't think the rental will be like $150 a night. All right. That's the thing. It's like what is it? 4-bedroom, because isn't there a maid's quarters? I think it's like 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, something like that. 2 levels. It's awesome. So it's worth a lot more money now. And the thing is, I just can't see where the rental will be so low. I just don't see that. I see the rental being possibly a high number. Why? Because it can sleep like 10 people if he wanted to. That's the thing. Once you get past 9 people into the 10 people category, and at least you have a man-made beach, I mean, you are close to downtown. How much will that be worth? I don't know. It could be 400. It could be 350, 400, 500. I don't know. But all I'm saying is, if that's the case, and you could do like I'll just say 50, 100 nights a year, which isn't even 30%. If somebody says I'll take 100 nights a year and I'll get $400 per night, I think a lot of people will take that for something that they bought for 200 or 300,000. 300,000, I think in this case. I think most people would take $40,000 or $50,000 a year. That's significant. All right. That's better than 10%. And you guys know we like better than 10%. We like 15. We like 20 if we can get it. And so we don't really know, but it could be something like $500 per night down the line. So this is why for him it could be significant, because all of a sudden he could be collecting, like if you did a 60% rate and you're doing 180 nights. Let me give you guys an idea why this is significant, because if this turns out like it possibly could, 180 times 500, right? That's $90,000. If you can buy something for 310, 350, and you can get $90,000 a year, ladies and gentlemen, that's over 20%. All right. You're in the sweet spot, because prices will generally keep rising. So your ROI is off the charts. This is the position that he put himself in. And a lot of us here, we have like 50 people here that watches the SSN Nation that has bought property in Dominican Republic, pre-construction. So a lot of people are going to be in the same boat, maybe not the same value, but the same percentage. That's what could happen. Brian P's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. And he says his tagline this evening. Hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Yes, all is well. The cool breezes tomorrow. And we have a major appointment in the morning here in the Dominican Republic. Once again, hello, SSN family. That's right, Brian P. He's one of those investors, ladies and gentlemen, that went all in with dividend investing a year and a half ago. He is reaping the rewards. Thousands of dollars, not just 1,000, not just 2,000, not just 3,000, not just 4,000, not just 5,000 per month in dividends. He doesn't have to lift a finger, because he lifted his fingers and did heavy lifting for a year and a half. But guess what else happened? Because of the return rates of 20%, 25%, 40%, he is getting compound interest on top of compound interest. Do you understand? This is major, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to keep rising, and he can use that passive income to buy more assets. It's beautiful to watch. And today was payday. Smash that like button. Thank you so much. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday. Why are so many people who can't get ahead financially? Solutions are here, but do you want to hear them? Because it's not in a book. It isn't any, you can do it by next week. It takes time, energy, and constant effort of buying assets one at a time, a stock at a time, real estate at a time, businesses at a time. It's slow and methodical, but don't get it twisted. Every now and then you do hit lightning in a bottle when you have something like yield max ETFs that come out and do something that nobody's ever done over the last year and a half. And now it's almost like a standard. Everybody's trying to jump on board and getting returns of 30, 40, 50% annually. And you're getting dividends every month. This is crazy. And if you get to ride this and it takes a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, you will be golden if it can ride for 3 years. It's been riding for a year and a half already because he got in early. Victor Morero got in early. All right. So it's never too late to find the solution, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody here can do it. But the one thing is you have to make the money. That's the thing. Payday at Yield Max. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It was a beautiful, beautiful payday. $4 here, $1 something here, 70 some cents per share here. All I know is there was a chunk of change, and next thing I know, I was like, wait, where did all this extra money come from? Oh, it's April 8th. Dividends were paid out today. And of course, I reinvest them. So now it ended up buying more shares, making my money work for me. That's what we like to do here, ladies and gentlemen. And so therefore, we get more shares, more money. And next month, around this time, another dividend will be coming in. It's beautiful. At Mr. De La Cruz, you can deduct the interest only. You can also deduct insurance. Thank you, Victor Morel. Forgot about that. However, you can't deduct the actual mortgage principal. Now, Victor Morero, before you say this, so you understand, if you're in America, you are exactly right, because you can't do the principal. But I want to know if you're in the DR for accounting in the Dominican Republic, is that a write-off? Because you know what's going to happen at that point. If you're in Dominican Republic and they allow you to write it off, that means your income here is less. So now you get to take your pick. Are you going to pay the tax here and no double jeopardy for America? That's all I'm saying. I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, it could be just like the USA. But again, I would still talk to the accountant. Victor Morel, you might know. I want to know this. If I have a business and then I want to write off because I have a loan under the business name, can I write that off for doing business? That's what I want to know. I don't know the answer in the DR. I kind of know the answer in the USA, but I don't know about DR. We are making money in here. That's what we do. Now, we're going to get into why can't so many people make it ahead. I'm going to show you. You guys already know what it is. A lot of people, if you're new here, it's very simple. The cost of living increases. Just remember one thing only. It's not rocket science. If you add more money to the money supply, meaning print money out of thin air, then that means you are creating inflation. Don't let anybody fool you. It's that simple. So when somebody says things that are crazy, right? International Monetary Fund, we're printing money. Okay, let me do it a different way. So everybody knows this. What is this right here? How much is this worth? This piece of paper. Nothing. It's worth zero until I say this is a stock, this is a derivative, this is a bond, this is, somebody's going to give me money for this. This is printing money out of thin air. If I can then turn around and say, hey, this is worth $1 million. Will you give me a loan for $700,000? I just printed money again out of thin air. That also means I added $700,000 to the money supply. Now, prices are going to go up. It's that simple. Don't let the Federal Reserve, don't let any of this mumbo jumbo talk. That is what creates inflation. Now, what's worse is nearly, I don't know the percentage, but a lot of countries, they are literally broke because countries do not make money. Their citizens make money, the countries tax them, but most countries, the wealthiest of people get away with not paying equal share of the tax. So in other words, if I work a normal job, make $100,000, and the tax rate, let's just say 22%, all right? Because you work for a company. So now they go, oh yeah, you're going to owe like $20,000, let's say. All right. But how is it that a guy who has businesses and that business generates $500,000, he can still get $20,000 in tax? So now you have a problem. So where are you going to get the extra money from? Either it has to be printed out of thin air, allowing these funky deals where this piece of paper is worth $1 million just because I do a SPAC. I mean, this is crazy stuff. So there's always going to be inflation. It's just that they're going to lie to you and change the equations on how they figure inflation and tell you it's 2%. So then you're thinking in your head, inflation's only 2%, but in reality, your eyes aren't deceiving you when you go shopping. You know things didn't go up a measly 2%. But how they calculate it is what they're doing right now, making themselves look good. The Federal Reserve, by not increasing the interest rates, they're letting a year go by. So therefore, when prices went up 80%, what happens if a price goes up? I'll put it plain and simple. Something that used to cost $100, all of a sudden, a year later, it costs $180. You lie to people and say, oh, inflation is only 9.7% year over year. You're like, are you smoking crack? But they say it. But now the second year, instead of 180, guess what? It only went up 185,000. Now they go, oh, it was only like a 2 or 3%, only a 3% inflation increase. Like you forgot about the 80% part. So that's what they're doing. They're making it go so long that it's like, oh yeah, year over year, it only went up 3%. That meets our target. So let's just kill the middle class entirely because we're going to drop interest rates. And congratulations, everybody who's rich, everybody who has great credit, everybody that has assets that can borrow against that stuff. You're going to be able to buy stuff at a higher price with a lesser interest rate. And you can buy it all because you have all the wealth. Meanwhile, the middle class, the lower class, they can buy stuff, but let's just keep it real. Middle class, you have $250,000 of equity, or you have $1 million worth of stocks, and you want to take a risk and borrow against your stocks. Not recommended. You might take a risk and go, hey, I have $300,000 or $400,000 in my home equity. You might take that risk, but you're nothing compared to, oh yeah, Blackstone, BlackRocks, who have billions of dollars under management, and all they do is call up and be like, hey, I want to buy all this stuff. Who's going to give me like, I don't know, 50 million, $100 million against our assets and give me a 3% interest rate, interest only for 10 years? You think you're going to be able to keep up with that? Can you get interest only for 10 years? Because if you could, can you imagine you bought a house in 2017, 2019, 2020 for $300,000. It goes up to $500,000 and you go down to the bank and say, hey, man, I want to take out that $200,000. Give me a loan for $500,000 at 3% interest only for 10 years, $1,500 a month for 10 years. Do you know how much money that home is going to be worth in 10 years? It's going to be like 1.5 or $2 million. And at 10 years, you're just going to go, thank you very much. I paid 15 times 12, $18,000 a year. Thank you so much. I paid $180,000, but here I have $1 million in equity. Thank you. Sell it, please. That's what they're doing to us, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you need assets. This is simple, but it's not, because you have to have the money in the first place or figure out how you can turn this piece of paper into hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. All right. Hopefully that helps out, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I am almost certain you can also deduct trips to make trips you make there to check on your property. You are 100% certain that it is true, Victor Marrero. Just like right now, I come over here, I can deduct this because I'm coming over here checking out property, and we're doing SSN Lifestyle Music Fest. All of this is a write-off in different areas. It's a beautiful thing. You are right about that. However, I think there is a limit per year. Yes, there is. So he's on the mark, ladies and gentlemen. But these are all the things that you can do legally. This isn't even a stretch. This is not even crazy. This is actually simple matters that any tax accountant would feel comfortable with. Now, when you get into that high accounting standards where you have a team of accountants and they know the IRS agents and they actually talk and say, oh, he can write this off, he can write that off. Well, that's a whole nother level. But he's right about that. Victor Marrero, you are 100% right about what you just said there. That's exactly right. Thank you, Victor, from Mr. De La Cruz. Right on. You can also deduct any management fees if you have a rental company. Exactly. Exactly. That's why I was saying earlier that 20%, 25% management fees, that's a lot. I mean, seriously, you make $100,000 a year and you find out 25% of your money was gone to management. That's 25 G's. I mean, it starts adding up real fast. HOAs, $200-300 per month. Next thing you know, that's $3,600 more dollars. Next thing you know, what about the supplies? What about your housekeeping and a whole bunch of slew of other things? That trip you went over and it cost you $1,000 to go over there. All this starts cascading down your tax obligation. And that's the thing right there. So he's right. Thank you, Victor Marrero, for all of that. Eric, Brian P., did you hear that ching ching noise? Yep. Oops. Yield Max dividends just hit our account. Can't wait for next month. You got that right. I couldn't believe it. In fact, it was already pending in Robinhood. I was just like, wait a minute. Over the weekend, remember we were looking for things, and I went in. I said, yeah, let me see what's happening. It was already pending for payout. It was crazy. These dudes are on it. I don't know who Yield Max is, but whatever they're doing, I'm down with them. Professor Auntie Val is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon that I humbly appreciate. And she says, good evening, fam, with that heart, with the strength, and with, of course, that cup of beachfront Java, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You guys see it in the chat room from the get-go. Make sure you use that promo code SSN Lifestyle so you get a discount price for life after your first order. Free shipping in the United States. Premium blend coffee and tea. That's right. And not just any premium blends. From those regions around the world that is known for awesome coffee, you got the beans, you got the fine brown, you got the drip brown, you got the Keurig, make sure you go to beachfrontjava.com and use that promo code. Your life will change. All right. Very nice to see you once again. That's right, Victor and Eric, says Brian P. That's right. Why can't most people get ahead? Lack of financial literacy. That is one. Debt is two. Getting materialistic items. That's three. And not assets. That's exactly right. No budgeting, making wrong decisions early in life. Hey, you know where I feel that it's a disservice that Victor Marrero mentions that early in life. It's a travesty that they teach people to go to school, which has nothing to do with making money from a school standpoint. But the thing is, I'm going to school at a college, and the college says 10,000, 15,000, 20, 25,000 or more annually. You leave, and if you don't have scholarships or anything like that, you could owe like 75 to over 100 and some or more thousands of dollars. So you're already behind the eight ball. Now, a lot of first world countries have free education because of it. Because the more educated a person is, the better the production in society, the better solutions generally come about. So, unfortunately, in America, we generally don't have this. So people are behind the eight ball. So they get you several ways. You go to school, you generally are going to have liability of debt. Don't go to school. It's very true that without a degree, your earning power is generally less than with a degree. So it's a catch-22 unless you decide to be in some of the trades, which are specialty items, AC and heating, plumbing, right? Carpentry, things of this nature. You will always get paid what the market bears, and you get paid based on inflation. So if it costs more for materials or items, you can charge more for your time because you're specialized. So that's why it's a catch-22, and it's a damn shame because a lot of people don't want to run their own business because it's high risk. 9 out of 10 fail. So you can't blame somebody there, and you can't blame somebody that says, I want a paycheck every week. So if I do my own business, I don't know if I'll have a paycheck every week. So you're putting people in a blender, and it's very hard to get out of it unless you took the steps to begin with, and you can always correct it later. But they get you behind the eight ball in the beginning because your mindset is, I'm going to do this, this, and this based on the standard, this invisible standard. But the invisible standard is not for you. The invisible standard is for the wealthy because they get to charge you these crazy rates for getting a loan to go to college. They get to charge you crazy fees to go to school. Books, crazy. Dorms, crazy. All of that comes into play. They monetized it because we're in a capitalist system. So therefore, they don't really care about you like that. They would rather just tax you to death. Our health system is similar. Instead of having 32 out of 33 developed nations have universal health care. Guess which is the only developed country that does not? A lot of you are living in it, the USA. 32 out of 33. We're the one. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is why other countries are slightly different. They have free healthcare, free college relatively. Those standards allow their citizens to do all kinds of different things because they're not under pressure when they're just 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. They're able to study with reckless abandon, not have to worry about, hey, how much do the books cost? Oh, guess what? The book that we used last semester, because now you can get that used book. No. We have a new book this semester that you have to buy. That book costs $400. You're like, what the? This is the type of trickery they do to us, ladies and gentlemen, because you're trying to better yourself. But the reason why they do this is because they keep you off of the 8 ball. They keep you behind the 8 ball, not in front of it. Based on that criteria, they know we're going to keep you stressed out, so you can't come fight us. You can't do anything. You're not going to be thinking about, oh, well, let me do some business. Let me do something that's going to actually make me a lot of money that I can learn. They're like, no, we'll keep you treading. You come out, you're going to have a degree, but now you get paid $35 an hour. Like that's something big, right? It's crazy out here. I got a lot to say about it. This was always my pet peeve. Brian P. Hey, Eric, did you see the article on BlackRock? Yes, I did. And in fact, I'm going to be bringing up something about that shortly, about the $10 billion. They go private for $10 billion for the real estate investment trust. This is just wild. $10 billion for pieces of paper, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, real estate is a deed. It's a piece of paper. Yes, it has an address. Yes, it's actually a physical object usually, but it's really the piece of paper. The underlying asset is the most valuable part. And in the case of BlackRock's, $10 billion. Unbelievable. Vanessa Comagate, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to your name, which I greatly appreciate. And she says, hey, boss and SSN fam, happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. And ladies and gentlemen, the Seamless Genius has entered the building. That's right, AKA Seamless Genius. Why? Because what's between her ears is unlike any other. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, I swear to you, if I said I'm going to sell this mouse, this woman would figure out a way not only to sell this mouse, she would say, I figured out how to franchise the damn thing. And by the way, I figured out how to sell the parts out of this thing to make even more money. It's amazing. It's amazing. Every now and then there's a genius amongst us, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you just never know what's going to happen out of her brain. It's incredible. There's a few people like this in the world. She's one of them. All right, Curtis Davis, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to your name. I humbly appreciate that. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Financial has just entered the building. That's right, AKA Mr. Financial is here. He brings his tagline. Good evening, SSN family, ABMM. Always be making money. That's exactly it. Just keep that in mind. In fact, you have no choice. You have no choice. So a lot of people think that, hey, I make a lot of money right now, but guess what? You're not guaranteed to make a lot of money next year or the year after that or 5 years from now or 10 years from now because things change. People didn't think AI was all of a sudden going to break out as fast and quick as it has done. That is a problem, a big problem. So therefore, you guys need to go check out in this YouTube street. Mr. Financial has his own channel under Chili Davis, Chilly Davis. Go to his channel. He helps people out with news and updates with financial information throughout the day, evening, and night. You never know when he's going to drop something. So go subscribe to his channel, please. That's all you can do. Subscribe, click the all notification bell, watch some videos. He has over 1,000 subscribers. He could be monetized, so show some love. Now, I can't illustrate this any better than what I was just talking about before with owning businesses. All right? That's what I'm going to show you right now. Hey, Auntie Val, long time no see. Hope you're still in the chat. Exactly. They have delayed FASA for student borrows. The website down. Who wants to start life 100K in debt? The trade's best way to start life. Exactly. Exactly. See, that's the weirdest thing. A lot of people in the, what is it, Gen Z? These guys are like, I might as well just learn something else that can make me money. And so I can't blame them at all. I can't blame them at all. Of course. Hey, all right, check your emails. I will. All right, let's go. You're so right. Most college graduates end up working at jobs totally unrelated to their degree. Plus, most have loans. The right trade can make you rich. I know a few friends like that. Exactly. Exactly. It's crazy out here. It's so crazy. Oh no, this is not good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before I get more into this, don't forget we have our SSN Lifestyle Music Festival, but we also have the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. The price goes up to $249 at midnight tonight. So go order now if you're going to come. And I'm going to tell you something. The cheapest flights right now, unfortunately, a lot of people don't like these airlines, but it is like Frontier. It is like Spirit. It is like JetBlue. All right? Just saying. This far in advance, it generally beats everybody else by hundreds of dollars. All right? So keep that in mind. Hopefully that'll help you out. And the other part, the SSN Lifestyle Music Festival, if you buy a ticket, then for just $1 more on that same cart checkout, you can actually come to the Investors Forum May 13th, 14th, and 15th. It doesn't matter which weekend you pick. If you pick the 9th through the 12th weekend, it's $1 more in your checkout. You get a ticket to the music festival. That's what you're going to buy, and then $1 more. It only applies for if you buy a music festival ticket. That is not for individuals. On the 16th through the 19th, if you buy a Punta Cana Music Festival ticket, then for $1 more, you can come the 13th, 14th, and 15th, and then 16th, 17th, and 18th, and 19th, party with us. That's how it's going down, ladies and gentlemen. So everybody else, if you want to come, then you got to buy the $199 ticket. And after tonight, it's going to be $249. Now, ssnlifestyle.com is where you're going to go for this. All right. It's not a Stop Struggling or SSN Nation program. So that's what we're talking about. Now, I'm going to talk about something real quick because Brian P. sent me something. Child tax credit. Inflation has reduced the value by National Review. Exactly. See, this is what I keep saying, you guys, ladies, gentlemen, children, you are going to have to buy assets. This thing about looking good, smelling good for the cameras, for your friends, for people you don't know, you're going to have to start thinking, I can't believe how much people pay for clothes, for instance. Can you imagine for shoes, $200-$300, clothes, jewelry, handbags, thousands? Can you imagine telling somebody, hey, you know you could have for the $8,000 you bought, what if you could have gotten $3,000 per year for life every time you spend $8,000? When you start thinking like that, you're like, wait a minute, I just went to the movies. I just went to dinner. I just went on a big time vacation. I just bought a new car or a car that's expensive. I mean, you spent the money on other things. And if you would have said, hey, $50,000, and somebody says, yeah, spend $50,000 and you're going to get like $20,000 a year for the next 10 years, the next 5 years. But you're not thinking that way. Unfortunate. It really is. And again, inflation is killing anything and everything in its wake. But what is inflation? There's two types of things that a lot of people are mistaken about inflation. Just because I'm buying a can of Coke, I don't, but let's say I am. I'm buying a 6-pack of Coke, and last year it was $2. Now it's $7.99. That's not inflation. That is price gouging. And you can actually go look at the companies and they said, oh, we made $20 billion in profits. That's price gouging. So it's not inflation, but the consumer, by supply and demand, keeps paying the higher price. And unfortunately, until a consumer starts going, you know what, I'm not buying that, there is no reason for the companies to reduce their prices because people keep buying, because you have credit. 65% of the population lives paycheck to paycheck, and all-time record credit card debt is now. Of course there is. 65% of the population lives paycheck to paycheck, and when you can't make ends meet, you slide a card because then you only pay like less than 10% of what you owe. And you're on the hook for indefinite amount of time because you'll never be able to pay off using min payments. And since you're living paycheck to paycheck, you can't really pay down a significant amount of the debt. So you're in a death spiral. And some of you may be in that death spiral right now. And I should mention, hit up Tracy. All right? Let's go get her. Let me give you her. Go get this. Go hit up Tracy. Let her know you're from SSN Nation. If you want to get out of debt, you're going to have to do something drastic. What's drastic mean? Let's just say you have, what is the average? $8,000 is the average debt for American citizens. Let's just say somebody comes to you and says, hey, since you're doing minimum payments, you'll never pay that off. How about you only pay $4,000 of it? And then your next question is going to be, okay, what do I have to do? Well, we're going to get your debt reduced to 50%. So you pay $4,000, but you're going to have to give up your credit cards. You're like, what? Okay. For 2 years, you're going to pay that debt off, and it's just going to show a zero balance. 2 years. But in the meantime, your credit is messed up anyhow because your debt utilization is like 80, 90%. So what's the difference? So that's why you hit up Tracy at Resolve Finance. She's part of the SSN Nation. She's going to help direct you to the best way to tackle your debt, get out from under it in a short period of time. And at the end of the rainbow, your credit will be restored to a higher rate. And now you get to join back into the program. It ain't like you're going to go out here and buy a house anyhow, right? A lot of people are like, I want to buy a house. I'm like, what are you doing? Why? You can't afford it. Even if you improve your credit, why are you going to go buy a house? These homes are worth $400,000 or $500,000. They're overpriced. Let's call it what it is. All right. Look at this on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. This is 1994 versus 2023 revenue numbers, courtesy of Brian P. Look at this right here. This is exactly what I keep trying to tell you. It's not going to change, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing is going to change. Look at this. Here it is. Here's the 1994 figures, not adjusted for inflation, 155 billion. Now, the top company is 611, 4 times. This could be inflation. This could be price gouging, but it's still 4 times the revenue number. How can you get to 4 times the number? That means you're paying 4 times more than what you paid in 1994. And if you say, okay, Eric, it's not adjusted for inflation. Okay, let's just call it 2 times more than what you paid in 1994. So again, if you bought a $25,000 car Now they're 75,000, because that's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. A $35,000 car is now $100,000. That's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You see where this is going, right? You understand you're going to be living in a third world country. You just don't know it yet. So the only plan of action is to get assets, as many as you can, because the wealth inequality between all of these people that we give our money to, the real estate investment trust, the Kathy Woods art funds, those all are controlled by them, but it's our money that they get to use to go buy assets that none of us as an individual can buy. Look at these numbers. They're staggering. Walmart, 83 million in revenue, or billion. Look at this, 611 now? What kind of crazy is this? Exxon, 102, now 414? This is crazy. And everybody goes, oh, the gas prices, the president. Guys, stop. It's not how it actually works. All right? Unless your president calls up another country and says, cut production of oil, that would be crazy. Yeah, we did have a president that did that, and it wasn't Joe Biden. I'm just saying. It's crazy. Crazy. You also had a president who said, we are going to charge China 5% to 25% in taxes. You guys do understand, whenever somebody says they're going to increase taxes, that means the consumer pays the tax. There's no such thing as I make a product and a country tells me, hey, man, we're going to charge you 10% tax for bringing it into our country. Now, I have a product that sells right now for $100 to United States citizens. Sorry, Eric. Your company's going to have to pay 10% tax for bringing it in to sell us so we can have competition for our own manufacturers. Great. Beautiful. I'm raising the price to 115. I cover the 10% tax and I make 5% more. Fine with me. They're going to buy my product anyhow. It's still cheaper than what you're doing. I mean, this is ludicrous, but this is what happened. So when you guys are out here thinking that things are just equal across the board, it is not. For every move you make financially, there's another lever that comes on the other side, because from a business standpoint, they don't have to do anything other than raise the prices to cover the new cost. And you pay it, and you continue to pay it, because in America and a lot of first world countries, you have credit. So you don't care. You can always get out of it. Now, let's look at the inflation figures. 319 General Motors in 94, 611, almost double. Basically, it's double. 263 Ford was second. Now it's 514 Amazon, in the billions in revenue. This is insane. What do you think is going to happen over the next 30 years? Same thing. I got news for you, except it's going to be worse. It won't be just double based on inflation adjusted. It's going to be triple to a quadruple, because of all the printing of money out of thin air from all the countries around the world. It's scary. All right. I won't be preaching much more about it, but I just had to show you guys. This is crazy out here. This is real crazy. All right. And I left Tracy's number. So get in touch with her if you want to decrease your debt. Just talk to her. Soft credit check. So she can look at your credit and then therefore be able to tell you how she can help you without costing you a dime. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. Okay, here we are. Look at this. The Seamless Genius. FYI, I have a meeting with Disney next week. Fingers crossed. All right, do the damn thing. We're pulling for you. We know you got something cooking and brewing, and I know it's going to be awesome. It's hard for people not to see what you put down, especially when you have these nice little twists and turns. So we're pulling for you. We hope that you get it. I'm here. What's good, sis? There we go. Showing the love. Great news, Vanessa. Exactly. That's beautiful. That is awesome. All right, Auntie Val, the Beachfront Java, of course. Exactly. Beachfrontjava.com, ladies and gentlemen. Auntie Val, nice to hear from you. Welcome back. Exactly. Auntie Val must be in the lab making things happen. At Vanessa Comegate, good luck to you. You got this. Exactly. Exactly. We know you didn't put in work and thought about it. Joe Nay, another investor, real estate style. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Again, with that icon that I love, I appreciate the support. He says, what's good, SSN fam? How is everybody doing? I just smashed that like button. He did the one piece. Thank you so much. All right, and Victor Morero. Thanks, Victor. I'm a little nervous. Hey, if you don't have butterflies, then it may not be worthwhile for you. You've got to be a little nervous, especially when you have what you feel is something that is awesome. And when you do presentations, you got to have a little flutter, right? Because we always feel like, man, did we do it right? Did we show it right? Did we talk about it how we should have? You just never know how somebody else receives it. So you should have a little of it. That just means you're on your toes. That's all. I know you got it. Like Victor Morel said, Auntie Val, how's business going, love? Curtis Davis, collecting materials, clothes, vacation versus buying Apple, Google, Nvidia, stock, or crypto. You could be financially free. Exactly. But again, imagine going through preschool all the way from, let's just go 5 years old to 17, 12 years, telling you you should work for somebody. You should go to school, get that house, get that picket fence. I'm just like, what part of all these liabilities are you telling me to buy? But they don't tell you they're liabilities. They give you the idea that there is a value based on you go get that education, that piece of paper. Never mind that another million people are graduating with you the same year for only a few 100,000 jobs. And never mind the previous semester, another 500,000 people in your same field graduated from a college with a degree as well. And there's only 200,000 jobs. Clearly, not enough jobs. But they don't tell you this. You're thinking, just like I was, oh man, I'm badass. I go to school, I'm going to come out, I can go do whatever I want. Until you go to interviews and you see, wait a minute, why is there another 40 people here? What's going on out here? Mr. Bird, come in now. I'm like, what the hell? I thought I was special. Fooled me. But again, I have to admit, I already was prepared for that type of thing. So that's why I always had my business. Even when I was in college, I had a business and we were already making financial moves. My students, my classmates, again, they were fooled because everybody does stereotypes. They're like, because I did play basketball. So they said, oh, he just plays basketball. You know how they give them things, you know, he must be special, just like sports athletes in college are. Money here, money there, you know, all kind of crazy. So they're thinking, oh, okay. Little did they know, while they're going to eat during our basketball games, they could be buying some of my products. Approved by the NCAA, by the way. Little do they know they're going home at night, watching TV program, and it's a bingo game, but they also sell, like QVC, products. Little do they know, your parents could be buying my products. Yes, I play basketball, but I was already on the business situation because I saw where it was going when I first stepped on campus. And they said, Eric, you need these books. And I'm seeing these same books that are used. And my professor is sitting there saying, you can't use those books, you guys. You're going to have to buy this book. And I'm sitting there at the U of F like, have they lost their mind? These books are $250 and the book over here is $50 from last semester. Eric, what do you care? It's not your money. I'm like, what do you mean? This is BS. This is what's going on, right? Dorm room. Okay, Eric, we'll give you a dorm room. No. It's costing X amount. My money only goes X amount. I don't want that. Oh, no, you're with us. You're taking that. I'm like, damn, I could have gotten a car. But I'm not Chris Collinsworth, who can go down to the dealership and get a car. Come on now. This is crazy stuff, man. You guys, you learn a lot when you actually pay attention. Curtis Davis, if you walk in a grocery store, you're dropping 50 or 100, and you're like, what did I buy in this inflated environment? Yeah, $50 or $100, 3 bags. This is how crazy it's getting. 3 bags, 4 bags max. Silly. Vanessa Comegate, totally normal. Whatever happens, you're already a winner. The experience alone is incredible. Let us know how it goes. He's right about that. I always call it the science experiment. It's like everything you do is like a science experiment. You're like putting all the ingredients together. You remember all the ingredients you used, and then somebody comes over and tastes it, and you're just like, they're like, yum, yum, awesome. I want to buy your company. And then another person comes and is like, I just don't understand this. This doesn't taste right. I don't know why you made this. I don't think it's that good. You just never know which end of the spectrum you're going to be on, right? That is the thing. But you know in your mind, you're like, oh, this is awesome what I put together. I know how it goes. So like Victor Morrell says, the experience, the understanding of what you did, the excitement of what you did is more than enough. And she's done this several times. She's former Shark Tank. That's right. Shark Tank, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You have to, again, Shark Tank isn't what you see. The first time you see on TV, these guys just don't roll through. No. You got to actually go through auditions to put you in a ringer. And not everybody's on TV either. They might film it, but only a certain amount of people will actually be aired. Just keep all this in mind. So she actually went through the ringers. So that's a whole nother animal. All right. So just keep that in mind. Keep us in mind. Business is steady, but working to expand to merchandise, brewers, grinders. Oh my. I love what I see there. Beautiful. I sure will, Victor. I'll be celebrating. Exactly. I know it's going to be off the charts. Auntie Val, that's awesome, sis. If you use SBA for expansion money, they are great with startups. Very true. Absolutely. And she's right about this. I'm down with other people's money. I like using other people's money. Exactly. That's the best way to do it. I'm down with it too. Speaking of that, I'm in the DR. Let's see. It's still early. It's still, what is it? 10, it's 7 on the West Coast. Let's see here. We are supposed to possibly have something under contract, and I don't have any news about that. Nope. No contract to talk about right now, but I'll find out later. I should know today or tomorrow officially if another contract is going to be signed, and we'll be rocking and rolling. I've been knocking on the Disney door for 3 years now. Hey, well, 2021, 2022, it was very hard to be knocking on Disney's door. 2023, they're just now getting out, but then they had that, situation with Disney. So very hard. Maybe now is the time, because again, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what you do, no matter how good you are going to fail. But that does not mean you stop. And she didn't give up. She's back again, knocking on the door again. Amen, Auntie Val. Exactly. Time for them to open the door. Exactly. They'll see persistence, ladies and gentlemen, which is what I had to do down here in the DR. I had to go see people today. All right, TSMC gets $6 billion for U.S. plant, booming business semiconductor. See, who's paying for this $6 billion? I want to know. I want to know. It's crazy. Students getting a job in field that won't exist in 5 years. Exactly. Exactly right, Curtis Davis. Think about this. I go to school. Here's the funniest part. I go to school. I have a degree in business management. What is that? They're like, Eric, you want to be a part of the management, part of business, executive? This is the degree you get. I get out of school and I'm like, wait a minute. This is actually nothing. It's thin air. Because I have to get hired by somebody. But here I am up against Stanford, Cal, UCLA, USC, Harvard, Yale, Princeton. These dudes are in the interviews too. Big time schools they went to. Wholly different situation with prestige. But we're all competing for the few jobs. And I'm sitting there like, damn, that's crazy. But here's the kicker. True to form as a human being should be, you should not put all your eggs in one basket. So yes, I was pretty good at basketball. I have a contract to go overseas. Yes, okay, great. Not NBA, but Europe zone, cool. But at the same time, my degree in business management, pretty much like, okay, cool. But at the same time, I did some computer stuff. And so all I had to do was, which I did, and I was like, forget about it. I think I'm like, I don't even remember. Let's just call it 12 units short of having a double major, right? And I was like, F it. And the reason I said that is because my business management degree, when I actually did go to interviews, they go, hey, what about this computer stuff over here? You know how to do all this stuff? I was like, yeah. They're like, oh, we got a spot for you. You know something. That's how funny this was. My business management degree, which was a degree, was overridden because I knew how to do programming. How crazy is that? Didn't have a degree, but they see it and they're like, wait, you can do this? I see that you know all this stuff. Yes. Test out. Let's go see what you can do. Oh, damn, he can do it. Oh, we're going to pay you more than what we're going to pay you. I'm just like, this is crazy stuff. All this stuff you learn, but it's after the fact. Nobody tells you this. It's crazy. So needless to say, I always tell people specialize. Don't just get one of these, like history degree, right? I mean, come on. It's you got to specialize. And that's why the people who make a lot of money now have these certifications. So keep that in mind in case we have anybody here that is still doing their school and they're not being specialized. All right, Curtis Davis. Yes, first job interview out of college, 10 people ahead of me. Exactly. It's crazy. Wins and losses, ups and downs, open doors, closed windows, and business worth having is worth fighting for. You're damn right. I like that. Exactly. Don't give up, no matter what. All right. Vanessa, good luck. New business from Curtis Davis. Keep knock on door of Disney. 12 billion of opportunities. Exactly. She actually did business with Disney. So therefore, she has all, I would say, slight upper hand. It works maybe to her favor slightly because it's been a long time, but she's not going to give up. I'm not a quitter. Yeah, COVID flattened my Disney biz. Exactly. But you coming back. Curtis Davis from Vanessa. Thanks, Chili D. Exactly. TSMC will get $6.6 billion from U.S. for new plants to build in Arizona. See, the subsidies thing, congratulations, taxpayers. You're paying it. This is crazy stuff. Probably giving them the free land as well, and probably going to tell them you can. So you're going to make the community pay their fair share. I mean, this is just crazy. At Curtis Davis, wow, my nephew just moved out there. He says housing is very affordable. In Arizona? Oh, compared to LA? Probably. It's in the desert. It's in the desert. That's for sure. It's much better than LA or, well, San Diego, San Francisco, Sacramento. It's definitely cheaper. That's for sure. All right. So I got Tracy's name up there and I left it up there. So make sure you go over there. If you want to reduce your debt, get it resolved, and have good credit in 2 to 3 years, because otherwise you're going to keep spinning your wheels, then talk to Tracy at resolvefinance.com for everybody on podcast. All right. Okay. So let's go. We have more, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't it. We got more to talk about here. Hold on. It's not over, because you guys are out here getting hurt. When we start talking about why so many can't get ahead financially, here's one of the reasons. The same reason. You're in a capitalist system. You'll need more than $100,000 in income to afford a typical home. What is a typical home? This is April 2, 2024. This article, I want to know, what is a typical home? I'm like, what is that? 400,000, 500,000? In some places, it's $1 million. Either way, you need to make hundreds of thousands to do anything above 500,000. 150, 125. I mean, for like a $400,000 and $500,000 house at this interest rate environment. And even if interest rates are lower, you're still going to have to be in 6 figures. Just think when you start talking about $1 million pad, and you're sitting there like, really? You're going to pay $6,000 a month in mortgage only after your property taxes, insurance, and all that? You're going to be around $8,000, $100,000 per year. And you think 100,000 is going to be good enough? Hell no. You guys know you're going to have to be making like damn near 300,000, right? 250, 300,000 to make it work. Just saying. This is crazy. This is real crazy. So that puts you in the top 1%. Okay. A pair of recent studies predicts that you'd need to earn more than 100,000 per year to comfortably afford a typical home in the U.S. right now. That's a major jump from just 4 years ago. Of course, if you have 20% price increases 2 years in a row for homes, which is what happened, that's insane. That's insane. Okay, here it is. Zillow found prospective home buyers would have to earn more than $106,000 annually. That's crazy. That's an 80% increase from $59,000 yearly income from 2020. Okay, stop it. I don't know where a household income of $59,000 was even buying a house in 2020. I have no idea where that is, because I know for a fact the median home price was around $400,000. There's no way you could have a $59,000. Here it is down here. Hold on. A separate study released Monday, the financial website Bankrate, suggesting Americans would have to rake in $110,000 per year to afford a medium price house. They are correct. But what's a medium price house? See, here's the problem. It's $300,000, $350,000. Because as soon as you get to over 400, you got to be like 6 figures. The outlet says cost $402,000. So there it is. That income level surged nearly 50% from its 2020 estimate. There you go. So again, this thing about being enthralled with home buying, ladies and gentlemen, you need to stop. It's nothing wrong with buying a home, but the problem is, due to cost of ownership that are not known, a lot of people, they don't tell you. See, another thing, if in school, what if they would have told you that you have an AC unit, you have a heater, you should service it at least once a year for maintenance and upkeep. You have a roof, you have gutters. You have to figure out, are you going to cover your gutters, or Or if you don't cover them, are you going to pay to have somebody take the stuff out? You're going to get up there every so often and take stuff out of your gutters? Do they tell you about property taxes? Do they tell you about HOA? Do they tell you about Melrose? Because they're building a school in this new neighborhood, so they're charging you not only your property taxes, but Melrose as well, another tax to fund the school, and that could be for 30 years. Man, they got you. Do they know about the insurance or lack thereof? They don't tell you nothing. And it's a liability that you're buying in the first place. And now all of those costs are liabilities. Taxes, insurance, Melrose, HOA, lawn care, pool cleaner. Come on, it keeps going on and on. My maintenance and upkeep, because I need the guy to come check on my AC, check on my heater system, make sure they're efficient. All of this is in play. And heaven forbid if you get in the zone where they say, oh, we have a special assessment in taxes now. You owe another $3,000 this year. I mean, this is crazy where we're at. Still, the 22 states requiring a six-figure income is an increase from the only 6 states in 2020. Look at this. 6 states in 2020 required a six-figure income. Now 22 states. Are you guys feeling it yet? I keep telling you, after this next situation, if you think this is something, wait till we get to 45 states require a six-figure income. And it's not going to be another 4 or 5 years from now. This is going to happen in the next 2 to 2.5 years. Keep playing out here and not getting assets, not trying to buy businesses that get you extra money coming in, because you cannot keep up. Nobody's getting 20% increases. Even if you own a business, you're very hard pressed to sit there and tell somebody, yeah, I know you used to pay $100 for my service or $100 for this item, but now it's $120. You might lose sales. So this is a problem. It's just a big problem. In Seattle, New York, Boston, and 4 major metro areas in Cali, we know where they are. Bay Area, San Francisco, San Jose, Los Angeles, and San Diego. I mentioned 3 of these earlier. Prospective households would have to earn more than $200,000 per year. What did I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? This is not going to stop. But here you go. You want to live in Memphis, Cleveland, New Orleans, or Birmingham? Congratulations. The most affordable cities. How funny is that? They got jokes. Nothing against people that live in Memphis, Cleveland, New Orleans, and Birmingham, but they got jokes. All right. Great to visit, in my opinion. Living there? I'm in New Orleans, in the Garden District, at a place that used to be called Blind Pelican. It was open. It's not open any longer. And so I told this guy that I was in the French Quarter. And I said I was in the French Quarter, and these guys told me, I said, where's the best gumbo in New Orleans? And they said, go across Rampart and go see the Chinese lady. And I thought they were joking. I said, nah. So I go across, go to a place. Sure enough, it's some of the best gumbo I ever tasted in my life. I go to the Blind Pelican, tell the guy. He says, man, what were you doing? Are you crazy? That's like the worst part of town. You could have been shot. What time did you go over there? I was like, it was like getting a little dark. It was around 6 or 7. He goes, are you crazy? Nothing against New Orleans, because it's a beautiful place. I love it. But I'm just saying, when they say these are the most affordable cities, I'm just like, hold up a second. I mean, damn. But Zillow found only 3 major metro areas in the U.S. where home buyers making the median income could afford a typical priced home. Don't do it. Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and Detroit? Are you serious right now? The Ash in Pittsburgh is what the St. Louis. Okay, first of all, I can't even. I can't even. I can't even. Are you for a death wish or something? This is crazy. This is crazy. Of course, that's going to be the most affordable places. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, no person, seriously, if you're watching out for your life, man, come on. I forgot what part of AZ, but yeah, really cheap. He's in aerospace. We talking about Tucson? Tucson's really cheap. That's for sure. Could be that. In 5 to 10 years, the average family will need 200K annual income in USA to feel secure and not poor. It's crazy. Exactly. That's crazy. But you guys heard it here first. I told you this 5 years ago. This won't stop. I'm telling you now, in the last year and a half, I've been telling you guys this next time, you're going to be way behind. The haves and the have-nots are going to be so far apart. This will tear the fabric of financial system. The wealth gap will be so enormous that you can't catch up. So if you don't be on the side of having the assets, then you're going to be on the side of, I don't know how else to say this, but you may be fending for your life, liberty, and what you own. All right. I'm just saying it's going to be so far different. And this is why one of the number one commodities for the wealthiest, airplanes. They already know what's going to happen, just like I do. So they're already juicing, getting their jets, getting their lands outside of U.S. territories. Don't you notice this? Because it's inevitable. The Roman Empire is what the United States is. You can only tax your citizens to so much. Maricopa. Oh, that is near. That's near Phoenix. I mean, that's Maricopa County. Let me go see about this. Yeah, that's a county. That includes Phoenix. But yeah, I mean, let's get real. The desert is expansive. I mean, that doesn't mean they're in Phoenix. Doesn't mean they're in Scottsdale. Doesn't mean they're in Tempe. Doesn't mean it's in Mesa. It could be anywhere in Maricopa County because their Maricopa County is huge. Huge. It's big. So yeah, if you're on the outskirts, there's a lot of places that are affordable. A lot. Because it is desert. Let's just call it what it is. But it's not all that bad. I mean, it's a big city area, so it's always good. I do like Phoenix myself. So just saying. All right. So there goes some other things that you have to consider, ladies and gentlemen, but we have solutions. What are those solutions? What I've been talking about for the last 4 years is trying to get everybody off the island. The island in this case is the United States of America. That is the island at this point that you need to get off of. It's okay that you are partaking in the USA experiment, but at the same time, you need to get off the island and get yourself some assets on another island. So then that way, anything that happens on one island does not mean that you have to lose everything on the other island. And you can also make money on the other island. So once you set yourself up that way, i.e., like all these other guys that have offshore companies, now you can function around the world. Because remember, there's something that you are forgetting in America. You are forgetting competition in America is stymied. So in other words, you have to start asking yourself, why is it that Apple and Android phones can sell for $1,500, $2,000 and yet not be the most advanced cell phones in the world? And yet you can go outside of the United States and buy a $550 phone that does more than the $1,500, $2,000 phones. Those companies are not allowed to sell their product in the United States. See, but if you're doing business, if you're in another country, you can buy their product. See how this works? You have a huge advantage when you can buy product for less. That's superior. See, you're caught up in the matrix, ladies and gentlemen, believing one thing when in reality, there's another thing going on. So this is why I've been preaching since I've been here in the YouTube streets, saying, hey, get something somewhere else, because now I can do business with countries that we can't do business with in the US. This is why all the big boy companies have their own offshore companies, because they can do business with any country damn near. You don't have restrictions. But if you try to do it inside the US, import their stuff in, you can't. So keep this in mind when you're out here. This is the solutions we're giving you. All right? Because this next time when things go up 100% more, don't say we didn't warn you. Don't say we didn't warn you for years. All right. 5 years already. The first prediction came true. Now the second prediction is going to come true. When the next bull run happens, you better be a part of it or you're going to get trampled. It's that simple. It's that simple. Yes, 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 exactly. Affordable. You ain't lying. Well, if he lives in SoCal, then they already said the most costly places are LA, San Diego, Bay Area. So if you live in those areas and then you move anywhere else, it's like a piece of cake. Anywhere else other than Hawaii. I mean, that's what it's like. 59,000 income. Exactly. It's crazy. 2024 costs are crazy. Exactly. You can't survive. That's crazy out here. All right. So let's see what else can we get into tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because we have solutions. We have solutions out here. All right. Let's see. I can't even get into a lot of things because Brian P sends me over some things, and it's like HOA and insurance fees pricing out condo owners. This is exactly what's happening, especially in Florida, because Florida has a lot of condos, and those condos aren't like 2 years old. These things are 30, 40 years old, and they need rehab. But the HOA was never really collecting enough money to do the rehab, or shall I say, they were collecting money, but every year the rehab costs increase beyond what their budget says. So even if they said, oh, it's 5% more, wrong. When something breaks down, it's more like 30%, 40% more, but yet the HOA was only going 5% more, 7% more. That's where the problem comes in. You do that over a 10-year period, you find yourself paying 70% of something that's going to cost 500%. So now with the insurance fees rising, HOA has to send out their latest offering to pay and say, hey, you're going to have to pay $2,000 per month HOA. That's a problem. That is a big time problem, and it's not going away. All right. There's such a thing. You're going to have to pay the piper sooner or later. This is why I always say, if you own property, you have to maintain it. It costs you less to maintain it now than if you keep letting it go. Because letting it go means there's other issues that are going to arise because you didn't fix the one and the dominoes just keep going. And it could be catastrophic, as in the case of a lot of places that have happened in the United States over the last 3 to 5 years. It's crazy out here. So the solutions are given. It's easy. Look for something outside of the United States. That's number one. That's the easiest of all, because the rest of the world, it generally costs less. So it makes it a little easier. So use your bullets, that duffel bag of cash. Make sure you use it. Now, I'm not going to stay here all night. It's going to be a little bit late for me. I got to get up early. I have a special meeting in the morning. I went to the bank and I forgot about one thing today because I was working on several other things. My Banco del Ahorro got that situation handled. So that was cool. Scotiabank, cool. Had to go there because I needed some wiring instructions were not clear and I forgot to ask them about the loans. So before I leave, I'm going to find out about the loan because if you have money in a bank, you need to start setting up your outside the United States credit. How do we do that? You put some $1,000. I don't know. I'll let you know this week. $1,000 in an account. You say, I want to get a loan against it so you can start building credit. That's one way, right? So that's the easiest way. So again, that's something I forgot about today, but I will be going back to the bank anyhow, especially since I'm going to be right next door. We're going to go over and see Nestor sometime this week. All right. And I got to go to Larimar. Also, the guys are MIA. Send them a message saying, surprise, I'm in town. No calls whatsoever. No, nothing. It's like, wait, crickets. I said, no worries. I know where your offices are. I'm coming down. I won't have a warm reception after my video. Yummy gumbo, but crime's high in some of these cities. Memphis, murder capital, tough place. Exactly. I'm like, what is this? Are they punking us right now? Memphis, New Orleans, Cleveland, St. Louis. They're punking us right now. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm not hanging in none of these places generally. I haven't even been to New Orleans in years because of Blind Pelican is closed. My Mr. John's Steakhouse is different. A lot of stuff that I like there has changed, and naturally that's how it works. That's how capitalism works, right? You're only as good as you were the previous month when it comes to revenues. So that's what we have to deal with. All right. So hopefully this rendition on this Money Making Monday live stream, people are going to take this serious because buying a course, there's nothing wrong with it if you feel that's going to teach you something. But at the same time, you have to start thinking about other things, ladies and gentlemen. You have to start thinking about a lot of other things. So I'm going to put down a nice little commercial before we go because we're not leaving just yet. Make sure you smash that like button and don't forget about the SSN Lifestyle Music Festival. Get your tickets now, May 9th through the 12th. Sean Rayford, Lucky Weatherspoon, Dominican artists, Latin players are coming, jazz, smooth jazz, and more, R&B, smooth jazz, Latin, Dominican, all 3 days of awesomeness. And then the following week, it's Sean Rayford again with the experience. And they're going to tear down the house along with Club Nouveau on Saturday night. But it's still the 16th through the 19th. And again, more different Latin artists, more other artists are coming that weekend as well. Yet to be named. I won't name them just yet. And we got a lot more to talk about because we have the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum, where you can come over here and do exactly what I'm talking about. Get your offshore company started. Get your offshore assets started. That's what we're talking about. Make it easy on yourself. So I'll show you a little excerpt of what Sean Rayford Experience does. You guys have seen this before, but this one's going to be a 1-minute one. Check this out.
Smart Credit is a fast, simple solution to a better credit score, more online privacy, and greater control of your money. Did you know the average person can add 97 points to their credit score but aren't aware of it? They don't even know how to get these points. Our average member adds 61 points in just 20 days using Smart Credit. That could save you $10,000 in interest on a car loan and over $100,000 in the life of the average mortgage loan. And Smart Credit is the only credit management system that gives you a spending and payment plan to help you add more points to your credit score. And if you already have a good credit score, this feature shows you how spending could affect your score and how to prevent losing these hard-earned points. Plus, we don't just show your credit score and provide alerts, we're the only ones to give you a personalized plan with action buttons to add points. Our patented action buttons allow you to communicate directly with your creditors and even your financial institutions to dispute errors, ID fraud, and more. No more mailing letters and no more long hold times. We also help protect you and your loved ones. Our $1 million whole family fraud and scam insurance covers your entire family in your household at a much lower cost than the competition. And by the way, have you Googled your name lately? You may be shocked by how many websites expose and sell your private information. Use Privacy Master to easily request the removal of your information to stop these sites from selling it permanently, all with the push of a button. Another way we beat the competition? Our Money Manager feature finds your bank accounts so you can link them without searching. We also have instant statements and action buttons to ask questions, fix problems, and reverse unrecognized credit card charges directly with your financial institutions. Smart Credit. It only takes 1 minute to enroll. Get started today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you saw what other asset that you need. We talked about it earlier. Your credit is going to be a huge asset over the next 2 to 3 years for you to be able to buy assets using other people's money. That's what you want to do. So once again, if you have a problem with your credit, use Smart Credit. I put it in the chat room. We have our own special code, naturally. Right? So that's what we do. We help you here. All right. Let's see what else we have. I see there's a question. Brian P. asked, no, I don't know about this. Is it a website over there to buy a business? No. I mean, there probably is, but I don't know which one it would be here in the Dominican Republic. All right. So once again, that's what we're talking about. I like your idea, but I don't know of a website. And if there was one, it's very hard to get because they're blocked in the US. It's going to be .do generally, right? That's one of the problems. In fact, since I am here and since you did mention it, check this out. There might be. There could be. I mean, who knows? Yes, there is. SelectCaribbean.com, Dominican Republic businesses for sale. Of course there is. All righty, of course. Thank you for asking that question. How awesome is this? Check this out. Everybody can see for themselves. Here you go. Buy, rent, Dominican Republic business. Oh, that looks... Nope, that is not. Thought it was a certain place. Uh-oh, what's this? A farm? Farms for sale. Oh, look at here. Retail businesses for sale. High-risk restaurant business. Okay. Benefits of business ownership. Okay, this is interesting. The commercial climate for foreigners wishing to operate a business in the Dominican Republic is very favorable. A large labor pool exists from which to draw employees of every imaginable skill set. Our properties, Monte Cristi, $216,000. Las Vegas style, $6.5 million. Perfect hostel facility, $396,000. Don't. Investment opportunity near the beach, 4.6, 57 beds, cabaret restaurant right on the beach, almost a mill. Well, there you go. You have opportunities. You shall ask, we shall seek. And there it is. I put a link in the chat room to the one. So that's very interesting. So there's plenty of opportunities over there in the Dominican Republic. Here in the DR, that's where I'm at right now for the next 3, 4, 5. I don't know how long I'm staying. It all depends. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It all depends, because SSN Nation Takeover is going down. I have an important meeting in the morning for the first part of the takeover to occur. It's going to be awesome. I think it's going to go down because I actually talked to the guy. I rolled up on him. That's right. I came to see him. I rolled up on him, said, "Ho, hold on." I started pointing at the chest because I was wearing the SSN lifestyle gear polo shirt, by the way, that everybody will receive one of these dry fit polo shirts, special design for our SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. That's part of the $199 package. And midnight tonight, Pacific time, the price goes up to $249. I don't want to hear anybody saying, hey, can you reduce? Can you go back? Sorry, it's $199 right now. So get it now while you can. There's instructions on the page. Just go to SSN Lifestyle, hit the Explore button. It'll take you down there. But once again, you have opportunities here, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's stopping you. No barriers to entry. You can actually use your money and get businesses. How sweet is that, though? Select Caribbean. I like it. That's just one thing. Of course, you have to have several others. Oh, I did know about this one. Damn, I forgot all about it. DR listings. I forgot all about this. I'm glad you mentioned this. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I forgot all about this. We talked about this, but this was a while back. I put the DR listing in the link as well. So once again, established cafe, cake, and pastry shop in prime location, $890,000 in Sosua. Jolly Roger, $399,000. Seating, okay. Again, restaurants are, high risk. Owner finance for this one. Okay. This property has 10 buildings. It was built as a boutique hotel close to the beautiful beaches of Juan Dolio. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Hold on. 559? Somebody might have to check on this. This is interesting. Close to the beautiful, how close? All right. You guys know what this means. Owner finance again. This is crazy. I can't blame anybody for doing owner finance. Let's find out what this is. 10 buildings, boutique hotel, numerous restaurants. Okay. I'm not impressed by this. This looks like garbage. What the hell's going on here? This looks like this is interesting. Located on the south side of the island. Okay, this seems like a lot. Okay, deep cistern, outdoor bar, recreational area, 3 septic systems, 2 Wi-Fi systems. We have added outdoor bar, bedrooms, 10 or more. Well, just so everybody knows, I don't really care what his asking price is, price reduced. We don't care about the asking price. Why? Because this is how you make money in real estate. We basically need them to send over their profit and loss statements for the last couple years. And something tells me that this is something like gross profits of like $50,000, $60,000 annually, because that's the only way you can have this price point at 559. because I do a simple number, 10 times the number. So that's what your profits need to be. 50,000, 500,000. So this may be why somebody would be selling it, but with 10 buildings, which we have to find out how many actual separate living quarters there are. And we got to find out what they're monetizing things with. This could be an opportunity, but they're really sketchy. I mean, this is interesting. I'm not impressed with these furnishings and this paint colors, and look at this room. It looks cluttered, and this is not SSN Nation approved, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. What is this? Zebra print rugs. What kind of crazy is this? These chairs and seating areas out in the middle of nowhere. Where's the okay? This is just not right. This is not how you should furnish any place. They have palm trees, but there's no real landscaping of any significance. It just seems like it's like a park or something. But somebody could come in here and possibly do something if you know where it is. So there's nothing we can see here because we don't have any profit and loss statements. We're not going to get anything like that. Let's see. Seahorse, blue. Okay. I don't see a red. Villa 12. Could it be over here? I don't know where it is, but all right. So let's go back. We're checking this out. This is business, ladies and gentlemen. So DR Listings, I believe that's what it was, right? drlistings.com. Yep. drlistings.com. Bar sold at $399 because it was owner financed. That makes sense. Beachfront Hotel, $3 million. 26 units, backup generator, green area, commercial space with beachfront bar, blah, blah, blah. Cabaret. Sosua Hotel, 500,000. Again, that illustrates to me not much profit. For sale, modern lounge bar restaurant, 68,000. Great location, Sosua. Once again, Bavaro, 2.9. Apart hotel located just steps from world famous Bavaro Beach. The building has 6 condos, 2 commercial, a safe community. Did he just say 6 condos and 2 commercial premises? Okay, I don't understand. How could this be 2.9? There has to be more here. Let's go see what we're talking about. This is right where we're at right now. I could go check this out possibly. Steps from world famous Bavaro Beach. The building has 6 this is not 3 1-bedroom condos, 58. Okay, 2 2-bedroom condos. Ocean view. That's 6 units. Where's the hotel part? Beach access, patio, European. Okay, this is crazy. I don't know about you guys, but this seems a bit too much. 2.9 for 2. Okay, that seems crazy to me. Does this thing make like hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit annually? This looks like on the beach to me. I don't know where this is. I've never been to this area, but this is interesting. Only 6 condos and 2 commercial spaces is commanding this 2.9. Very interesting. Very interesting. Maybe some of you know where this is. Yeah, I don't know where this area is. Not that I actually get out and about too much around here. All right, here we are again. This is got ocean view. But again, it's only 1 penthouse unit. How is this? Unless they're valuing each unit separately at a number. Because the penthouse, let's say it could be, I don't know, 400,000 maybe? I don't know. And then the one bedrooms could be 100 and something. So that's, we can get to maybe a valuation based on that, but we wouldn't buy this for that, ladies and gentlemen. You wouldn't buy it for, you're only going to buy retail. If you invest in something, let's get it straight. You have to have a profit number. So if you're buying this, you're going to have to say, okay, how much does the commercial lease spaces earn every year? How much do each of these condos earn every year? That's what you need to know. And so your profit would have to be 200,000 or more in my book in order to even entertain the idea that we're going to be doing $3 million. Let's just call it 300,000, actually, not 200, 300,000. That's what you'd have to be making in my book. So just for starters. And then without knowing, and it's only 6 condos, 2 commercial spaces. You break it down. On average, we're at 8 into 300,000, 40,000, 45,000. I don't know. I don't know. There could be a value because it's close to the beach. But anyhow, that's something we can talk about. But I'm about to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Thank you so much. And yes, don't miss Wednesday night live stream. Yes, it's members only. Those with the icons that you have seen tonight, they will be the only ones that can be in the chat room on Wednesday nights. That's the Wealthy Wednesday night live stream I'm referring to at 8:50 p.m. Please don't miss it. Again, it'll be coming from the Dominican Republic. And I should have some other news for you over the next 48 hours as well with regards to several other things. But again, it's always about getting assets offshore. That's what I'm over here doing. Assets offshore. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, but make sure you do everything in your power to get your debt down and get your assets and passive income up. That's what you need to concentrate on for the next 2 years. Seriously. All right. We're here to help. Just keep in mind, if you need financing for some project, then you're in the right place. Hit up support@stopstrugglingnow.com. Hit me up or go to our WhatsApp group, which is something I keep forgetting to mention. Go to the WhatsApp group and join. All right. That's our WhatsApp. We have other SSN Nation members there. We do have spam people because since I mention it on the internet and YouTube, then we get these crazy fools that try to post stuff in there. Then I have to erase it. It's crazy. All right. Well, that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. We got you, Brian P., with the 2 places, Select Caribbean and drlistings.com, if you want to buy businesses. And it seems like there's an awful lot of businesses for sale. Why is that? It's on an island. Islands are seasonal with regards to tourism, right? So therefore, there are some people that go, well, I just get tired of certain lulls I can't deal with, depending on where you are on the island. And they're like, why don't I just get out now while I can? Can't blame anybody for that, right? So again, I want to thank everybody for being here. Make sure you smash the like button on the way out. And once again, share the videos because the YouTube gods show us no love. So we have to show our own love by sharing it with other people. All right. I'll see you guys on Wednesday night. And I will be probably dropping another video tomorrow about something. I just don't know what exactly yet, but I will be. And we'll go from there. If you have any questions, like I said, always hit me up. Support@stopstrugglingnow.com. If you have a project that you're putting together and need funding, hit me up. Support@stopstrugglingnow.com. And hopefully you stay safe and hopefully you don't get in any trouble, because it's hard to stay out of trouble these days, especially with a lot of people under stress and all kind of anger issues, all kind of thoughts of debt, income, family, a lot to juggle out here. So people have short fuses. They're not possibly thinking correct. So keep a level head while you're out here. And with all that said, I love you guys very much. Appreciate your support over all these years. But make sure you keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.